All right, good morning.
Hello.
Yep.
So it has been a crazy morning.
Oh, yeah.
And lots of calls and everybody
I've
waking
been
up at the same
getting
time.
calls like crazy today.
Yes. So we're just having a hard time getting ourselves going. So we
Yeah.
decided to do a kefir feeding tech 5-minute tech video.
Exactly.
So I'm just gonna bang this.
That makes sense.
This is the noisy part. So 1 second. All right, rest is quiet from here.
Here, well.
What's this though? Someplace almost here. What are these? What are these? Say it louder. What are they?
Kefir grains.
That's right,
Good
kefir
job.
grains. So alright, so we're gonna use those to make kefir.
Okay.
Alright, so tech question of the day.
Yeah.
How do you know when you need tech support?
How do you know?
In other words, you're dealing with some tech problem, right? You're trying all these different things you see online, on YouTube, I don't know what.
Yeah.
Right? At what point do you know you need to get support?
Well, first of all, before we even begin, I just want to give a shout out to a new subscriber we got on Fanbase.
Yay!
Yay! Here we are.
I don't know if you can see that very well.
Yeah, you can kind of see it.
Okay.
But Schwan, thank you so much for subscribing.
Yay.
And fanbase.app/TECHIE if you would like to see the subscription content, because there's a lot of subscription content that's been added. Okay, so the question was having to do with
when you know
you need tech support. I mean, I think it comes to the point where you've tried everything.
Yeah.
And you're trying to contact your friends and you realize they're not helping.
Mm-hmm.
And
but I feel like if you're doing stuff like that, you could potentially mess it up even worse.
right, exactly. That's why I'm like I'm trying to understand the question a little better.
I guess what I'm saying is somebody, let's say somebody's trying to save time and money, right?
Right.
They're like, oh, I'll just figure out how to fix it myself.
Right, and then they make it worse.
And then they make it worse. So it's kind of like, where is that line between something you can do yourself, something you can't? Like, at what point do you really need to just stop and get help?
The point you need to stop is if it's something that requires you actually opening up the machine.
Okay, but hold on 1 second. I feel like that's not all encompassing.
No, it's not.
You can do some serious damage to something even if you're not opening up your machine, right?
Sure. Oh, I mean, the thing is you have to know your own capabilities. I guess that's the problem.
Kind of like listen to your intuition.
Right, like if you're going and you're saying to yourself, wow, I just did this and now those files that I had are now missing.
So are there warning signs? I mean, this is a very fuzzy this is not a concrete question, but I feel like it's something we all end up in, right? Like even I try to fix things myself sometimes.
Yeah.
And then at some point I'm like, oh, I should really just have you help. In my case, it's usually like, oh, I don't have time for this.
Right.
I'll just make you do it because you'll do it faster. But not everybody has that advantage.
Well, I think it's that because people pay for the speed.
Right.
But they also pay because they have an internal panic.
Yeah.
Because I mean, yesterday, literally, I was like, oh, honey, you can go ahead and work in the art room and work on what you're working on, etc. And then I got a call that was in a panic, that was just like, all my stuff on my desktop is gone.
Right. And you're not going to try to fight through that yourself. You're going to get somebody to help you.
Right, because if you fight through that yourself, you might make it worse. And then the more buttons you click, the harder it is to go in to change it.
Yeah. So I guess
he's just trying to say hi.
I guess what's coming to my mind is if it's a multi-step process, maybe.
Right.
If it's more than I guess what's coming to my mind, and I guess you have to kind of clarify this as a tech guy. But if you go online and you're shh, and you find a simple tutorial.
Yeah.
Right, how to make a folder in your folder or something. And it's oh, click this button. And it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
And you can follow it.
Yeah.
Then you're probably good.
Right.
But if you're reading through something and you're starting to get a little confused.
Okay. If they're asking you to open up something like Terminal or MS-DOS or something where you have to type in code to solve it.
Yeah, you don't want to do code on your own.
Right, or they're going and they're saying, okay, if you go and you click on this certain function right here,
Yeah.
it's going to allow you to see hidden files on your machine.
Right, or like download something.
Or download something.
Yeah.
Right, if they're asking you to download something,
It's like a red flag.
then I'm like, no.
Yeah.
However, like, there are times where you do have to download something.
Right.
But if you have to do anything that's besides the basic functionality of what comes on the machine,
Yeah.
like if you're going into system preferences and you're just clicking off a bunch of settings and stuff, just write down what you've done.
That's smart.
So that way someone like myself can actually know
Yeah, that's really
what
smart.
did you do.
So basically, yeah, that's a really good piece of advice because I feel
Oh,
like...
good.
No, really. I mean, I didn't really think of that. I mean, I guess when you're doing things on a computer, I mean, personally, I just like am kind of doing it so fast I lose track.
Yeah.
And then you're like, what'd you do? I'm like, I don't remember.
Right, because
But,
that's
like-
the first question you're going to be asked is, can you tell me what you did
To get yourself
to
into
get
a situation.
yourself to this? But like when is the last date
Yeah.
that this thing was working properly?
Right.
So if it's like stops working, and this is day 1,
Yeah.
hour 1, mark it down, so when you're asked that question, at least there's some form of being able to figure out where exactly this came from.
Right. So ideally, you want to be taking good notes.
Yeah, so-
Not all of us can do, but if you can,
Right,
that is ideal. And because I mean, you don't always know when your machine's going to act out, right? You're going
Right.
along and suddenly it acts out. It's not like you'll be like, oh dang it, I forgot to write down what I did. I mean,
right.
but I guess
The moment, though, that it goes down,
yeah,
you write down, this is the day, this is the time that it
Yeah.
went down, this is what I was doing
Yeah.
while it went down.
right.
At
Okay.
least that gives you some
So
starting
basically,
block.
take good notes.
Take good notes.
Don't attempt anything that feels confusing or red flaggy or
Right,
If you're asked to download things, ask somebody like you first.
right.
Is this a good idea, or am I getting myself into hot water?
You need to find somebody that's reputable, but
Yeah.
granted, this then goes back to our previous videos where we talked about that it's like tough to figure out
Right,
who's
because
actually reputable.
you, for example, have had to fix like printer issues and stuff that other tech guys created.
Right,
Trying
Right.
to do the right thing, but it ends up making things worse.
right, and I'm
So-
sure I've created things that have made it tougher on other tech guys, but that's
Right.
that's just the way
And
it
sometimes
works.
with tech, you have to think outside the box.
But here's the other thing you have to realize as well is that something could get solved, and then what happens is that a server,
If you're gonna be on video, you gotta have a quiet voice.
a server or an email will end up resulting in a system in which case it's going to break it, and it's not your fault, it's just that external email company or that external software.
Sometimes things just...
What? Okay. And I think we're not going to be on camera then.
All right. Well, I think we've kind of talked about the
Yeah.
the bulk of this issue anyway.
Yeah.
So if somebody has a tech question, how do they reach you?
707-267-7778 or techie-to-the-rescue.com.
That's right. Okay. I'm trying to get ready to go now.
Yeah, let's go.
All right.
All right.